What's up, everybody? We back here with our STI motor build. Pretty much right where we left off in the last video. Pretty much the whole block is together. We got the oil cooler on, oil pump on. I don't think we've done our rear main seal yet, just because it's on the stand here, so it's hard to get to, obviously. But this is our oil pressures on and everything. Oil pan is on, oil pickup's on. Right now, pretty much the next step is we're gonna get the heads bolted on, and since we do have the ARP head studs, this one's still dirty. You clean that one? There's some garbage in the threads. Getting the head studs in right now. Obviously for our power level, head bolts just aren't gonna really do the trick in keeping these heads sealed up. So we got head studs going into this thing. He's getting those ones on that side. We'll get the ones on this side in a second. Obviously get our head gaskets put on there, get our heads slid on there, and torque everything down. We're gonna have to go over to the computer to look up the torque spec, because the torque spec for these head studs is different than your typical torque spec for yeah, just give it 4 Ugga Duggas, it'd be fine. But no, when you use factory head bolts,
a few moments later,
you know, they give you a big process of, you know, do this torque, then do it to an angle and all that. But these head studs are is a different procedure, a different amount of torque. So we'll have to look at the computer and go to actual, you can just go to ARP's website. I believe they have all the torque specs for all of their stud kits on there, so you can look up what it is for your vehicle, for whatever you have your studs for. We got our heads over here. Yeah, sent them off to the machine shop, just had them checked over. Obviously for this power level, you want everything to be as precise as possible. So I believe they did go ahead and they did machine the surfaces. I think they took, I don't know if they removed the valves and did a valve job, I think, but what they do is they'll pressure check the heads. They can see make sure there's not cracks, make sure there's no leaks on the valve seats, anything like that. So they pressure checked them, everything checked out, and then, like I said, they did just go ahead and resurface the head, so everything is nice and smooth as possible. So those will be getting slapped on here in a minute as soon as we get the head studs all in the motor. All right, we are getting ready to get the heads on. All the studs are in. You do just want to go, you want to snug them, but it's just a hand tight. There's not like a torque spec for these. You don't want to go super tight. Literally ARP's instruction says to hand tighten them. So they're just in there, just nice and snugly, not torqued or anything. Got our head gaskets on there. We went ahead and went with a Cometic Street Pro kit. It's a full engine rebuild kit. I mean, it comes with oil pan, cam seals, intake, exhaust. I mean, I think it comes with up pipe gaskets and everything in there. Basically every gasket you're going to need on this motor, and obviously head gaskets too. So we went ahead and went with the Cometic kit. You can really use any multi-layer. It bases to MLS, which is a multi-layer steel gasket. Cometic's good. I mean, you could even use factory gaskets. I know a lot of people are real hardcore, you know, Subaru gasket fans. I mean, you can use a factory head gasket. It'll probably do the job just as well. But we got our heads going on. Obviously, we got this one slid on. We're gonna turn the motor up and I guess torque one side at a time. This obviously is gonna be a lot easier to do up and down rather than have it sideways. I went and looked up on the computer the instructions in torquing the nuts down. Basically, you go in a cross pattern. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the order that you will torque the nuts, and then it's just a 3-step procedure in the actual torque spec. 30 foot-pounds, 60 foot-pound, 90 foot-pounds. Pretty easy, simple, and basically you just have to follow this pattern, tighten from the inside out. And so we're gonna get a torque wrench out, start getting these. Gotta pull the camshafts out because the nuts do go underneath here. So gotta pull the caps off, get the camshafts out, and we'll get the nuts on and get everything torqued away. All right, we got our head on, got the washers and the nuts on, and first round is 30 foot-pounds. 60 foot-pounds is next. Same torque sequence. Bolts, head bolts actually you're supposed to, or like theoretically will pretty much the same power as studs. The studs are actually work better as a racing thing, just little head on off. He said technically it's better in the sense of, he said it's not more power. So the rest of the whole size. 90 foot-pounds is the third and final pass. But yeah, it's just that like on a bolt, the thing with a bolt is it pulls on the threads to tighten the head down, whereas a stud is only pushing the head down, not driving it down. It's like you're not really pulling up on the block threads with a stud, you're pushing down with the nuts. You know, bolt, you're tight down, so you're pulling on the threads, that's what you're like, it's just pulling threads, blocks, there's no Alrighty, we are getting our camshaft bolted in. This piece here, basically, you gotta put little, since it's two separate metal pieces, and the gasket just comes up over top. You want to put a little bit of silicone along the edge of the head where this top piece mates down to the head surface. Got our camshaft oil seals in there, and torquing down the caps right now. There's a sequence to this also. You want to start with your, there's basically 3 rows of caps, 1, 2, 3, and you want to start with your middle one from the inside out, go to the front one from the inside out, and go to the rear one from the inside bolts to the outside bolts. It's a 7 foot-pound torque all the way around, and then you go back for a second pass for a 14 foot-pound torque on all the bolts. And that's pretty much it. We got new little half moon seals back here, a little bit of silicone on the bottom of those, so we shouldn't have any leaking issues. And then we'll get the new valve cover gasket in our valve cover, get it bolted down, and show you the result. All right, we got our motor turned upside down. We got valve cover gaskets on. Valve covers are all bolted on both sides. We got, like I said, we got the motor turned up with the exhaust side up. Got new gaskets on for our header. We're gonna go ahead and get our header bolted on. This thing already has, I'm not 100% sure of these headers. I think they might be NVIDIA headers, possibly. No, what are they?
Carmack?
I don't know. Anyways, obviously with turbo Subarus, you know, that classic turbo Subaru noise is because they have unequal length headers. That does hurt power a little bit. The power level that this Subaru is at, it is partially because the previous owner did go to a equal length header. It does help make a little more power. You do lose that nice Subaru rumble, but got to do what you got to do, make all the power you can. So we're gonna go ahead and get this bolted down. Like I said, got our new gaskets on there, get the nuts on there, get them tightened, and we'll go ahead and do that and get right back to it. Alrighty, we're gonna call it a day, or I guess it's night really. Got quite a little bit accomplished. Head gaskets are on, studs are tightened down, cams are torqued, valve covers are on, cam seals are on, headers on, and that's about all we did. Next time we have a chance, we'll probably get our water pump on, get our cam gears on here, those two, these two, get our timing belt ran on here. We've got a Gates Racing kit, timing belt kit to go on here. Get our timing belt all situated, get our coolant crossover tube on, get our oil feed lines to our variable cam timing on, get the intake manifold on, and get the up pipe and turbo on. That's pretty much about it. Not a whole lot left to do. Another hour, 2 hours of work. Motor should be just about ready to drop in. And yep, everything's almost complete. We're getting there, getting a lot closer to our close to 500 wheel horsepower STI.
Did I stutter?
This thing should be on the street any day. Can't wait to drive it. And yep, this is gonna be it for tonight, and we'll just keep you all updated on our progress of the build. Thanks for watching.